So I'm going to review how to use the extruder today. The extruder has a basket and then a tube, a cylinder. This is for making clay shapes, and I'm going to talk specifically about how to make feet. You can also use this for handles. The pulled handle is the best, but you can use it for handles. So the first thing you have to do is wedge out the clay, and we're going to try to use the recycled clay. It's a little softer, and it's a good purpose for it. So the recycled clay is tube clay. If it's not on the wedging table, it's on the bookshelf, the wire shelf in the room. It won't fit in the tube though, in the cylinder, so we have to wedge it a little bit. So you can do that right here or at the wedging table. And so remember to wedge. You're pushing away, rock back, push away, rock back. So we're not using this for the pottery wheel. So really, I just need to make it skinnier so I can put my hands on the top and make it like that French spread so that it will fit nicely in the cylinder. All right, so when we did the real and abstract project, I showed you how to do this with hollow dies. We're going to be using solid dies. The solid dies are on the wall over there. There's just a green one that's a solid coil, but there are also these selector ones. We don't want to use the coil because that's not good for a foot or handle, so just skip this one and go for gold, okay? So the best foot and handle are the ovals, these ovals, but you can use the other shapes if you want. You have to get the blue selector, and then you're going to pick it. So for a foot, I'm going to go a little bit bigger, and I'm going to select that. That goes in the basket, and then it screws onto the extruder. Remember, the extruder is like a big Play-Doh fun factory. Make sure it's straight, and then when you put the clay in the extruder, don't drop it, set it in there. The arm is kind of heavy, it hangs right here, so be careful. If you need help, I'll help you. You put the loop on top and the plunger in. Make sure it's not off to the side because you can bend the steel. It's a fulcrum, so you have more power here than down here, and then you pump it, and it will start to poop out clay. And it comes out like this. Okay, if it had air bubbles in it, it might tear, so you might have to extrude more. I forgot to grab a black plastic bat. That's what you want to put it on, because if you just leave it on your table, it could dry out. This is enough clay for several feet if you want to add feet to your plate. Thanks, Nathan. This is a black plastic bat. If you don't want to add feet, it's good for handles. So all you have to do is put that on there, and if you're not using it right away, get one of the large trash can liners and cover it so it doesn't dry out. So I'm just going to empty this, and then any of you guys can use some of it. So again, it doesn't make the greatest handles, they tend to crack, but really good for feet. And our next assignment, we're going to be using this extruder a lot to make clay coils. So this makes quite a few, so if anybody wants a foot, they can use it. It's kind of like the pottery wheel in that it's fast when you want to make something, but it's a little bit of a pain to clean up, okay? So in order to clean it up, make sure you pushed it down all the way. You lift up the arm. This clay usually has dry clay on it, so you'll probably just want to toss that instead of putting it in a green bin. The arm hangs here. You unscrew the basket. You push out the die, and then you'll need to scrape out the basket and wash it. And then usually there's clay in here too. You'll need to scrape that away. If it has dry chunks in it, toss it, otherwise it can go in the green bin. And then usually, right here, excuse me. Right here is a ruler. The metal ruler. You're going to put it inside, hold the bottom, and scrape it all out. Like that. You can turn it.